So we've come to the end of our one-day retreat. I'm sure you've learnt many things today, if only how hard it is to practice and train with your mind. Our mind doesn't always cooperate. We want to be peaceful, but it's not always peaceful. We want to let go of our worries and anxiety and anger, and we can't. But we're learning from that. We're learning to see where we're attaching and how it leads to suffering. Someone said earlier, whenever they meditate, all they do is think about all the people they don't like. Which is probably quite common, I think. That's why we meditate, and that's what we have. That's the challenge. That's what we have to work with. If that's what you keep thinking about, you have to find a way to get beyond that and let go. If that becomes your habit, it's only going to get worse. As you get older, you just keep thinking about all the people you don't like. So when you meditate, you're turning your attention inwards to see your own mind, know your own mind. You're seeing what's there. And if that's what you find, that you keep thinking about the people you don't like, you have to accept that and look for a way to let go. Probably have to cultivate more metta, karuna, loving kindness. Everything that you experience when you meditate is what we call vibhaka karma, old karma coming up. Your body, how that feels, your mind, what you're thinking, what you're remembering, what we say, we say what you give importance to will come up in your mind. So if you're thinking about the people you don't like, it means you've been giving importance to those thoughts and those things you've heard or seen in those other people that you don't like. You've given importance to that, so it's stored up in your memory, in your mind, and it's coming up again. That's your karma. Nobody makes you do that. You do it yourself. Maybe through being a bit careless or just not aware of what you're doing. So you keep storing up negative thoughts about other people. It becomes a habit. Something that's a habit, you don't even have to try. You just do it. You just think about it. What you don't like about someone. What they say, what they do, what they don't do. Everything. You just let it go into your mind, and then that becomes your karma, and so it'll keep returning, coming up again, bubbling up. Often when you don't want it to. So say you're meditating, you want to be peaceful, mindful of the breath, well then your karma comes up, and you start thinking those same old thoughts about those people, if that's what your particular attachment is. And the Buddha said, practice more metta. Think of the good in yourself as well as those people. The ones you don't like, think of them. Think of anything good about them. And then think of the good in yourself. Don't spend all your time thinking about what's wrong with your world and your life. Just turn your mind to think about what's good, what's right. Turn the mind to the breath. The breath doesn't bother anyone. The breath is not good or bad, it's just peaceful. Every time you're mindful of a breath, you're bringing a little bit of peace into your mind. And that also becomes a habit, a good habit. You can turn to the breath whenever you want, and it will help you to let go of those negative thoughts about other people. You also need some wisdom. You need to be able to see what you're doing if you are thinking those thoughts about other people. You have to tell yourself that this is suffering. Let it go. Don't give importance to those thoughts. So ignore them, basically. Turn your mind to think about something good in your life, rather than thinking about what you don't like about other people. Maybe appreciate the good things you have. At this time of year, it's Songkran, New Year. Think about your parents, grandparents, people who have helped you, how lucky you've been to get this far in your life. Think about your good health. Think about the good things that have happened to you. Come in contact with the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, the teachings. The fact that you can practice meditation, it's already something good, isn't it? Many people never know anything about what the Buddha taught, never practice meditation. They're just stuck in their suffering with no way out. As you meditate, you notice your mind is like this empty vessel. It's up to you what you put into it. And you can treat your mind like a rubbish bin. And every day you go around just looking at what's bad with your life or the world or other people, and then you put those negative thoughts into your mind and store them up, so it feels like a rubbish bin would feel if a rubbish bin could feel. And when you look at a rubbish bin, it's dirty, smelly, messy, something that you just want to get rid of. That's what your mind can become if you're not careful with it. And you keep storing up those negative thoughts and views on things. So what do you do with a rubbish bin? Well, you have to clean it out. You have to take it out, throw the stuff away, clean it up. That's what we're doing when we meditate. We're cleaning up the mess. And that takes a bit of time, effort, energy, patience. And often we don't like what we see. When we notice our own thoughts more closely, pay attention, we don't like it. So you need to be strong and patient with yourself. Just accept that maybe in the past you've given too much importance to the negative stuff. Now it's time to clean it out, let it go. We just chanted Jinabanchara Katha, where we remember all those great arahants from the time of the Buddha. Mahamoggallana, Sariputta, Angulimala, Ananda, Sivali, Kassapa, Mahakassapa. The idea is to recollect the great arahants from the time of the Buddha, and you get strength to meet the challenges, get strength, get energy, you try harder. Because if you remember other people who have practiced well, then you can see, well, I can do it. If they can do it, then I can do it. So the idea is to strengthen your mind until you feel really confident, you have faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and you keep practicing. You get the energy from that. So that's good karma. Chanting, hearing Dhamma, listening to Dhamma, this is all good karma. It's like putting good stuff into your mind rather than putting the rubbish in. helps you to take the rubbish out. And if you fill your mind up with the Dhamma, then there's no room for any rubbish, so the rubbish won't come back. And it's not like enlightened people were born enlightened. Whether it's monks, nuns in the time of the Buddha, or in this day and age, teachers like Luang Por Chah. Everyone who's born still has mental defilements, they still have their problems, their wrong thinking. I'm sure Ajahn Chah had times when he was thinking about other people and was angry or negative towards them. But the thing is, he didn't give in to that. He learned to let go of it. When you let go of your anger and your ill will, what's left is goodwill, kindness, compassion. So everyone thinks, oh, Ajahn Chah was a very compassionate teacher, very wise, compassionate teacher. That didn't just happen, it came through his practice. He's willing to practice, train his mind. But he still had his old karma to deal with. So sometimes people didn't like him, say or do something against him. He had his own physical karma. At the end of his life, he was very ill, lots of pain, lots of suffering, physical suffering. That was all his old karma. So even if you become enlightened, you still have to go through your old karma until you die. You never quite escape from that, other than through death, when you're released to Nibbana. Or like Angulimala, we just chanted Angulimala Ucha. Angulimala had a bad teacher, a dodgy teacher who told him all the wrong things. He had great faith, effort in his practice. He believed his teacher, even though his teacher was teaching him the wrong things. So his teacher instructed him to go and kill 1,000 people. So he made terrible bad karma when he was young and strong. But then when he met the Buddha, he realized what a mistake he'd made. He actually followed the Buddha, dedicated himself to follow the Buddha until he reached enlightenment. But he couldn't escape the old karma, that he had killed people and all their relatives still hated him whenever they saw him, even though he became a monk and he became enlightened. When they saw him, they'd be very rude to him, spit at him, shout at him, throw rocks at him, and they wouldn't give him any food. So the other monks had to share their food with him. But he didn't suffer with it, because he knew, oh, this is just old karma coming up. No way round. I have to accept it, because he knew perfectly well why people didn't like him. But his mind didn't give importance to that and didn't create suffering out of it. And when we do this chanting, we chant, I am the owner of my karma, heir to my karma, born of my karma, related to my karma. I abide supported by my karma. Whatever action I do, for good or for ill, of that I'll be the heir. That's a reflection you can use every day. That's why we chant it regularly. You have to accept responsibility for your own karma, good and bad. So today you've been making very good karma, keeping precepts, practicing mindfulness, listening to the Dhamma, all kinds of good things, putting effort into your practice. That's good karma. This will bring good results. You'll be a little bit more mindful from this, wiser, more peaceful. You understand yourself better as a human being. So basically you're improving because of this karma, good karma. But you also have to accept the old karma you've made will come up as you meditate. So you get distraction, get negative thoughts, worries, all kinds of desires and fantasies. All of this is just old karma bubbling up as you practice meditation. It seems like someone's out to get you. So we actually call it, in Thai we say Jau Gam Nai Wen, or we say Mara. Mara is coming to get me. So you're just getting peaceful and then you remember something that annoys you, or you remember something that brings up some desire so you can't concentrate. Just as you're getting peaceful, that can happen. It's like Mara steps in to trip you up at the last moment. What did the Buddha do? He just kept practicing with patience, and he kept his mindfulness, and then he'd say, I know you, Mara. I know who you are. I know what you are. When that desire comes up to distract you, you can say, oh, this is just Mara. Let it go. No need to follow it. No need to believe it. No need to hold on to it. When you have negative thoughts about other people, you just notice it and then let it go. So the practice takes effort to bring up mindfulness, takes patience to work through our old karma. If we keep doing it, then we get smarter, wiser. We understand better how to let go of suffering. This is how Buddhism defines wisdom. If you know how to free your mind from suffering, truly free it by freeing yourself from the causes of suffering, craving, attachment, greed, anger, delusion. So I'll give, on behalf of the Sangha, give our anumodana to all of you today for your efforts. Meditating, keeping precepts, this is something very good that you can repeat, I hope, whether it's here or elsewhere. Just keep practicing when you get the chance. And even when you go back home and in work or whatever other things you're doing, you use the Dhamma to help understand how to look after your mind better. Take care of it. Don't let the negative thoughts come in and take over so easily. You have to be strong. So, I'll leave the teaching there, and in a moment we'll finish up.